He fell down to the bottom floor of this cave. And here we will finish this fight. Where did you end up? He lost his armor that we were able to destroy, so now only his pure form will actually remain. This is where we will finish things. Don't forget to scan this guy, by the way. It is going to be our final logbook entry. The entry for the final boss, Metroid Prime's core. The core essence of Metroid Prime. Scan indicates that the Phazon energy form of Metroid Prime is invulnerable to all conventional weapons. Only attacks from a Phazon-fused arm cannon will damage it. It generates pool of Phazon when it attacks. Use these to fuel your suit's Phazon weapon system. The entity can also spawn Metroids to assist it in battle, rendering itself invisible when it does so. Alright, this guy we cannot actually damage. There's not a single weapon we have we can actually use against it. But like the scan said, we can actually damage it with Phazon. So we do actually need to wait until this guy will actually give us a chance to use Phazon against it. Just avoid all his moves. Don't get intimidated by his scary face. At some point he will actually generate a pool of Phazon, as you can see. And he will turn himself invisible. Then we actually need to use either our X-ray visor or our thermal visor in order to see him again. He's always in one of the three visors. And then stand in the pool of Phazon and use hyper mode. The only time in the game we're going to be able to use the Phazon beam in order to damage him. That is how this guy works. Only the first time he's going to be nice to us. Starting from the second time and onward he's going to be generating Metroids as well. The moment he does this, in order to make things extra difficult for us. As you can see, now he will actually make another pool of Phazon. And then he will actually change visor. Now we can only see him in the thermal visor. Try to actually get past him and stand to the pool of Phazon he just made. Hyper mode will activate and then we can damage him. Pretty interesting final boss fight in all honesty. The first fight where we actually fought Metroid Prime's armor form, we actually made use of all of our beam weapons. And now in the second form against the core, we actually make use of all of our visors. Interesting boss fight in that sense. Alright, here we go again. Yeah, now the Metroid Spear, easiest way to deal with them. Just immediately lay a power bomb and you don't have to care about these guys. Just going to be normal Metroids at first. But it's not going to be a surprise. They're going to be fishing Metroids later on. And I think Hunter Metroids can also appear during this fight. But that I'm not too sure of. But he will begin actually spawning regular Metroids. And later on making them stronger by producing fission Metroids. And especially if he starts shifting into different visor, it's going to be a bit difficult to take on fission Metroids. Because those guys we can of course only hurt with certain beams. And if we're in thermal visor or X-ray visor, we're not able to see which color they are, so... In that sense it's also a good idea to just use a power bomb. Immediately get rid of them. Come on, give me some Phazon. I know you like it. Oh, ow. Yeah, here he goes. Metroids will appear. Yeah, there's indeed a Hunter Metroid here. I knew it. Remembered correctly. Oh, come on. I want to go to the pool of Phazon. I like Phazon nowadays. I used to hate it, but ever since I have my Phazon suit, I actually like it a bit more. Alright, we've got this. You are 2/3 down. And I'm only for 1/3 down because I'm losing 4 energy tanks. Right, are you done with your shockwaves? No, apparently not. Don't really care about that move. Really easy to avoid. Here's 2 hunters. Still have 4 power bombs, so I need to make this quick. I don't want to run out of power bombs the moment we start spawning fission Metroids. Of course, the Metroids I destroy will also drop power bombs. in that sense. I should have enough. Come on. Don't drag this fight. Shockwave move is fun and everything, but it's not really hurting me, so... Now here's the first fission Metroid. A hunter and a fission. Both of them taken care of with one power bomb. Still got 4 left. After this hyper mode, we should have 1 left. Yeah, that bit of health I should be able to take care of with 1 more Phazon beam. First he needs to give it to me. He does have an interesting face in thermal visor, I must admit. You look really ugly this way, sir. Now it's going to change back into normal visor. That was not for long. X-ray visor. And again, thermal visor. My favorite way to look at you. Yeah, it's changing up a lot the final part of the fight, as you can see. It's always a good idea to keep on changing with him, because remember, you will be invisible if you look at him with the wrong visor, and that way you're not going to be able to see him, and therefore not going to be able to lock onto him. So avoiding him is going to be a bit more difficult. And of course you can also not hit him in hyper mode. Oh, I thought this was it. Apparently not. You've got a very little bit of health left. It's probably going to take 3 minutes before you actually give me another cool Phazon. This is going to be a complete waste of time. But there's no way you're going to beat me. Metroid Prime is going to be beaten. Because I am going to beat Metroid Prime. Literally. Oh, don't you love it whenever the game is called after the final boss. It took us till the final episode to find out, but... Metroid Prime, the source of all Phazon, the source of the problems on this poor world, will here die at the hands of Samus Aran. However, he's not going to fall without a fight. He will try to drag Samus along in his fall. But he's just able to take Samus's Phazon suit and nothing more. And it's time for Samus to get out of here. Crater collapse imminent. Evacuate immediately. Metroid Prime's destruction will make the cave actually collapse. And with that also the Chozo Temple. Another victory for the bounty hunter.
The Chozo's faith in Samus has been well rewarded, and now a new star shines in the universe. The bounty hunter, Samus Aran. What future and fate await her?
Finally, she's able to take off her helmet. Look at everything what has happened here. With her own eyes. This poor world. We were able to save what is left of it. But our success comes with a price. It is time to actually view the credits. Time for us to leave this world. There's not a whole lot left of it. But our mission was successful. Mission final. Percentage complete. 100%. Don't really have to look at the total time. Because of this being a Let's Play, I did not really play this seriously when it came to doing this in a fast time. So that we are not going to care about. But at least it's 100% complete. And if you do, you'll actually receive an extra cutscene, which is going to be this one. The pool of Phazon that was left behind after Metroid Prime died apparently does not seem to be fully dead. The Phazon suit that was actually ripped off Samus will start living. How is this possible? Oh, choosing to save will now finish the game. When you select your save file again, you will start a new game. No. That is something I don't want. Well, looking at this extra cutscene, I think we can safely say there is going to be a Metroid Prime 2. And indeed, as you may know, there is a Metroid Prime 2. Also released on the GameCube. Also part of the Metroid Prime trilogy, of course. As of this day, no remake of it actually got announced on the Nintendo Switch, like this game. So, how to play that game, I'm not going to be able to say too much about. Just that that is not going to be the next Metroid game. Officially, Metroid Fusion actually became before this one, I know. But I still wanted to play this one first. Metroid Fusion is going to be the next Metroid game. However, before we actually fully close off this game, I think it is time to quickly go into the art gallery. After completing this game and getting all of the scans and stuff like that, doing everything 100%, you are going to be able to unlock the art gallery for this game. I can quickly actually scroll through it and at the same time also close off this game. I can also admit this art gallery is not going to be complete. There's also going to be a couple of things that you can unlock by playing this game on the hard mode. And that is something I, in all honesty, did not do yet on the Switch. I might actually check that out later, but yeah, at this point that is not completed yet, so the art gallery is therefore also not going to be complete. As you can see, there's going to be one missing over there, the question mark. But in the meantime, we can also enjoy everything Retro Studios actually designed the moment they thought of this game. I'm pretty sure all of these artwork are going to be for the Metroid Prime Remastered version. There might actually be a couple of re-rendered sketches here for the original game, but that I'm not too sure of. I must admit I've never really looked in the art gallery that much on the GameCube, so I'm not really too sure if there's going to be similarities between this art gallery and the one from the GameCube, but I think they actually are. I remember this being the official artwork for Ridley, for instance. So, looking at this, I think it actually is. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. For every percentage of scan you actually get in the game, you will receive a couple of new artwork. Reaching certain points in the game will give you artwork and stuff like that. Here's a bit of artwork that's going to be exclusive to the remastered version. These ones definitely did not exist in the GameCube version. Also actually worthy to check those out. As you can see, even these are not complete. 4 of them are missing. Play the game on hard mode and you will be able to see the final couple of sketches. But yeah, while scrolling through this and taking a look at all of these beautiful sketches that Retro Studios left behind for us to also enjoy, it is time for us to actually close off this project. Metroid Prime Remastered. As you can see, still up to this day, a very awesome game. Even though it is more than 20 years old by now, an amazing game, I still feel it is. Even though I'm a bit of a bigger fan of the second game, I still think Metroid Prime 2 is the best of the Metroid kind. Oh, wait, did I see that correctly? Yeah, indeed, this one is actually the full world map. Yeah, it's even got all of the locations of the items on it. Awesome. Never really knew this, that this was a thing. Yeah, so you can see all of the items, all of the rooms. The full world map in 2D. Awesome. Nice. But like I was trying to say, Metroid Prime, awesome game. Even though I still think Metroid Prime 2, the successor to this game, is actually a better game. I'm one of the few people who actually believes Metroid Prime 2 is the best of the numbered Metroid Prime games. Let's call them the numbered Metroid Prime games, because you also have Metroid Prime Hunters and Metroid Prime Federation Force, of course. Technically also part of the Metroid Prime series. But those I'm not talking about. If you just look for the trilogy, the numbered Metroid Prime games, including this one, I think the second one is the best one. And for some reason I seem to be the only one who thinks that, so that's also pretty interesting. But that is going to be the game that will continue the story of Phazon and Metroid in 3D. Here we have the character gallery, for instance. Also looks interesting. You can actually spin around all of the things you can see here. Also looks awesome. But the next Metroid game is going to be Metroid Fusion. I must admit, it's actually also released before this one, so it should have been the next Metroid game I should have played, I know. But for some reason I actually felt like starting this generation of Metroid after the era of having no Metroid on the Game Boy Color and the Nintendo 64. The GameCube and Game Boy Advance actually did have a lot of them. And for some reason I thought it was a bit more appropriate to start with a 3D one. And therefore I've actually put Metroid Prime before Metroid Fusion. But now that one is coming up, we're going to be changing up the 2D and 3D Metroids, the upcoming couple of projects. I will try to actually finish off all of my remaining games on the Game Boy Color and the Nintendo 64, excluding a few, which I will actually save for some reasons, which I will explain later perhaps. But the moment I'm done with that, and I actually truly move on to the Game Boy Advance and GameCube era, then the next game coming up in the Metroid series is going to be Metroid Fusion. Perhaps there we will also see this beautiful creature again, Ridley, and his awesome face. But this game is still called Metroid, don't forget. Also a lot of awesome Metroids in this game. Even though it falls a bit outside of the regular storyline of Metroid, Metroid Prime is usually considered an alternative storyline, you might say. That's not really connected to the true Metroid storyline. But still awesome to go through. Final thing we're going to be checking out before the project is truly finished is this, the soundtrack gallery. Even all of the music in this game can be listened to. All of the music is going to be here. So all of your favorite songs in the game, you can listen to them here. Like the MacBook Caverns, for instance. Or music from the Ice World. Vendrana Battle. Let's be honest, the Vendrana's Edge region. By far the most awesome song in the game. But anyway, yeah, that is all. That was the art gallery for this game. Metroid Prime is finished. We will return to the game later, in the far future. And also in the future we will be taking care of Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Fusion. And that is how Metroid will continue on this channel. I hope you've enjoyed this project. And I will say Treecks out. Hopefully I will see you all in another world. When we face more Metroids.